Someone has already decided what kind of person you are. Not after a conversation, not after watching how you behave, before any of that. They decided in roughly a tenth of a second, based almost entirely on your face. And here's what makes this genuinely unsettling. You do it too. To the barista who served you this morning. To the colleague who joined your last meeting. To the stranger who walked past you on the street. You issued a verdict, you just don't remember doing it. This is the halo effect. And by the end of this video, you will never look at your opinion of another person the same way again. But first, a man who became the most powerful person on earth for one reason: he had the right jaw. It's 1920. The Republican Party needs a presidential candidate. The convention is deadlocked. Weeks of backroom deals have produced nothing. So a group of party bosses retreat to a hotel room in Chicago, the original smoke-filled room, and make a decision that will shape the next decade of American history. They choose Warren Harding. Not for his record. He barely had one. Not for his policies. He didn't have many of those either. Not for his character, which, it would later emerge, was genuinely appalling. They chose him because when Warren Harding walked into a room, he looked like a president. Tall, broad-shouldered, a jaw you could carve from stone. His own campaign manager said it out loud. We picked him because he looked like a senator. That was the entire qualification. Harding won by the largest popular vote margin in American history up to that point. 60%. A landslide. He then proceeded to oversee one of the most corrupt administrations the country had ever seen. Cabinet members convicted of bribery. Massive fraud. Affairs covered up at every level. Historians rank him among the worst presidents ever to hold the office. America didn't elect a leader. It elected a jawline. And the terrifying part isn't that it happened. The terrifying part is that every single person who voted for him thought they were making a rational choice. Here's what was actually happening inside their heads. Your brain doesn't evaluate people trait by trait, carefully, like a checklist. It forms one rapid global impression. Good or bad, trustworthy or not, strong or weak. And then it uses that impression as a lens for everything that follows. One attribute casts light over all the others. A halo. Now here's where your own life comes in. And I need you to stay with this. Because the halo effect isn't just shaping elections. It is shaping what happens to you every single day, whether you're aware of it or not. Studies on attractiveness are uncomfortable to talk about because the findings are so blunt. Attractive people get better customer service, not slightly better, measurably, consistently better. They get served faster, staff smile at them more, problems get solved with less friction. Walk into a hotel looking put together and polished. You get the upgraded room, the warmer greeting, the benefit of the doubt. Walk in looking dishevelled and you wait longer, get asked more questions, get less. Same hotel, same price paid, but different face. It follows people into their careers too. Appear physically fit and well-groomed in a job interview, and interviewers unconsciously rate you as more intelligent, more reliable, more likeable. Before you've answered a single question. Once you're hired, the halo follows you through the building. You get more informal mentorship, more room to make mistakes, more introductions to the people who matter. And the courtroom. This one should alarm you. Attractive defendants receive lighter sentences on average for the same crimes, not because anyone is consciously letting them off. The halo is operating below the level of deliberate thought, shaping conclusions that feel, from the inside, like careful, rational judgment. People think they're being fair. They aren't. Neither are you, neither am I. But here's where this doubles in size. Because the halo effect doesn't only glow, it also casts shadows. One negative first impression, a nervous laugh, an awkward pause, something slightly off in the first 30 seconds, and the whole picture inverts. Now everything you do gets filtered through suspicion. A good idea sounds like it probably has a flaw. Confidence reads as arrogance. Genuine warmth reads as trying too hard. This is why a bad first impression is so brutally hard to recover from. You're not fighting the one thing that went wrong. You're fighting a darkened lens that's been placed over every single thing you do afterward. Think about someone you instinctively don't trust. A colleague, a public figure, someone from your past. Now ask yourself honestly, when did you decide? Was it after sustained observation? Or was it one moment, one detail, one interaction, and everything since has just been confirming it? Now here's the complication that makes this genuinely difficult to sit with. The halo effect isn't always wrong. Aristotle spent years studying why people trusted certain speakers over others. He concluded that perceived character, what he called ethos, was the single most powerful persuasive force. More powerful than logic, more powerful than evidence. The audience's impression of who you are determines whether they hear what you say at all. He wasn't celebrating this. He was warning us 2,500 years ago, and we still haven't listened. Because here's the uncomfortable truth about attractive, polished, confident people. They often do become more competent over time. Not because the halo was right, because the world behaves differently toward them. More doors open, more people invest time in them, more opportunities compound. The halo starts as a false prediction, and then quietly makes itself true. So when you look back at the evidence, it seems like the judgment was correct all along. It wasn't. The judgment shaped the outcome, and then the outcome erased the evidence of the judgment. You cannot see this from the inside. That's what makes it one of the most complete cognitive traps that exists. There's one more place this lives, and almost nobody talks about it. Look at every celebrity who has ever sold you something. A famous athlete telling you to buy a car, a famous actor telling you to trust a skincare brand, a famous musician telling you to invest in a platform. Your brain doesn't stop and ask, what does this person actually know about cars, about skincare, about investing? It doesn't matter. The halo transfers. The excellence in one domain radiates into authority across all others. The brain sees the glow and moves toward it automatically. And if you're sitting there thinking, that doesn't work on me, I don't buy things because a celebrity told me to. Consider this. Celebrity endorsement is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Brands pay millions, sometimes tens of millions, to a single person, for a single campaign. They are not doing this out of goodwill. They're doing it because it works, consistently, measurably, on enormous numbers of people who also believed it didn't work on them. The halo effect is most powerful precisely when you're convinced you're immune to it. So here's the question I want to leave you with. Think of someone you deeply respect, someone whose judgment you trust almost without question. When did you decide they were worth that trust? Was it after careful, sustained evaluation over months and years? Or was it earlier than that? A first meeting, a single moment, one impression that set the tone for everything that followed? And when did you last seriously question it? Or has the halo been quietly doing the work ever since? Letting the good things through, filing the contradictions away as exceptions, building a case for a verdict you reached before you really knew anything. And the most uncomfortable part, the people in your life who are judging you right now, your boss, your colleagues, the person you just met, they're doing the exact same thing. They've already decided. The question is what they decided, and whether you had anything to do with it. I'm the bias lens. We find the filters you didn't know you had. If this made you look at someone differently, subscribe. Next episode, your brain cannot treat good news and bad news equally. One insult outlasts 10 compliments. One bad day poisons a good week. One critical comment survives long after 10 pieces of praise have faded completely. It's negativity bias, and the reason your brain is wired this way will change how you read every headline, every comment section, and every argument you find yourself replaying at 2 a.m.